I can't even do it. She's like, Mom, what is that in your room? And I go, what? And she goes, the nurse's outfit? Okay, so Bert was homecoming, whatever.
I saw. Okay, yeah.
So I got invited to go.
You better wear the garnet.
And I was going to, and then Isla came home and was very, very, very sick.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Just with the flu, or
she had a kidney infection, and in the ER, she's still fighting it. This was this was November 20th was the first day we went to the doctor.
And she's still a month later.
3 rounds of antibiotics from her 3rd round.
And is it almost like a UTI that went bad?
Yeah.
Like holding your pee, not peeing enough, not drinking enough water. Yeah. I've had that where it was so painful.
Awful.
It's the one where I told you that Avery was the one where she was in the car. And this is when we really knew she was autistic, is when we're in the car. And I'm crying and going, breathing, thinking of having a baby, even though there's no way. And she was like, can you drive me home before you drive to the ER for your... And I was like... Fucking bitch. It was like, oh, okay, great. I have a child who's my husband. Because he, just the other day, Doug did the same thing. I said, I was crying about something. I'm venting, I'm talking about something. And he did one of these. I was sitting next to him, I'm talking to him, and he went, and I was like,
just a big outbreath.
It was a breath and I was like, is it a lot coming at you? Is that a lot? It's a little too much, too many words. He loves it. He's like, 1,000 words to my one. I'm like, well, at least you can pick and choose some good ones.
Well, the joke at our house is apparently when Isla went to school, she turned to Bert and went, so you get all her words now.
Oh.
I was like, you guys suck. I have a lot of really good words. Okay?
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
Don't give me
Avery
like that.
and Doug are like split from the cell down. They are the same. My daughter is my husband is my daughter. And now the running joke in the house is Avery has really come into her own about her autism. So where she'll say, tism, about her father. Avery and Doug have the same humor. It's dry. It's like Stephen Wright. I swear to you. When I hear Avery talk sometimes, she's like, yep, that's a tism right there. And I go, that's my humor,
right,
but with your father's dryness.
Right?
So, yeah. I told her, I was like, okay, kid, you're coming around. You're not taking everything so damn serious. Because it was, in our household, politics or anything just gets real hot real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said to me something recently that actually resonated with me. They said they were told this too. And I can resonate with it. You might, I don't know, it depends on your political spectrum and stuff. And I don't like to talk about that stuff anyways. But he said, if you're not a liberal by the age of 20, you're heartless. If you're not a conservative by the age of 40, you're brainless. So that is like this running ha, ha, ha. And I went, oh,
it kind of applies.
Hold on a second.
Call me crazy.
Hold on. When I was 20, everybody sucks. Life sucks. And then you get to 40, you're like, yeah, everything does. So I need to really work on that and figure out how to get around that. And so it was interesting when I say that. I look at my daughter and I'm like, yep, there it is. There's the social
Enjoy the ride.
Justice worry, or you love it. Wait till your paychecks start getting cut into. Where's that money going? Now she's like, I don't care. I'm like, it's because I'm paying for everything. When I stop paying for everything, you're going to be like, well, hold on a second. She's almost phobic, LeeAnn, of spending money to the point where now I'm like, hey, it's getting old. If you want to go get something to eat, we're okay. You can go out and get that Chinese food or whatever. And she's like, no, it's just so much money. And I go, but I'm paying for it. And wow, it's so much money. I'm like, but you bought a $30 plushie. Make it make sense. And she says, because a plushie lasts longer than food. And
oh my God.
I can't. I sign out.
I have failed.
Cancel, alt, delete. Sign me out just for a day. Yeah. It's really sad, LeeAnn. I went to see her because, Avery and her go to Isla, go to the same school. So it's interesting because Avery, she's she is getting into her own now, right? Got her own apartment with a roommate. No more lots of roommates, which have been much better for her. And I sent that to you if you need to know any more information. It's a great apartment she has. It's expensive. It's nice, but windows for days. So she's right near the cathedral, so she hears the bells.
Oh,
it's really
beautiful.
Beautiful. But when we were just there for Thanksgiving, I went there. We went for 2 days and went to go drive to Florida to see my brother. I found myself getting really anxious, and I hadn't seen her in a few months. And I found myself being like, all right, are we wrapping this up? We going? Are you going back to your apartment? Because I have become such a creature of habit of like, it's 8:30. I'm supposed to be horizontal. We're watching a show. I'm checking my email. That's what I want to do. And then when we saw Avery, it just throws. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm not moldable and flexible.
Thought I was.
Always have been like, yeah, I do whatever, spontaneous. But I found myself like my heart was beating fast. I was like, because Avery started talking about some stuff and worrying about AI and her career. And I was like, yeah. So it started giving me anxiety. And I was like, yeah, I need you to go. You can tuck it in for the night. See you later. She's like, it's 8:30. I'm like, yep, that's bedtime. Gotta go. See you later. Love you. See you in the morning. What time are we eating breakfast? And she's like, okay. And I was like, I felt so rude. So then when she got home, I'm like, I don't mean to be rude. And but she can't pick up on that. So she didn't even catch that I was being rude.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not meaning to shut you up or you're not annoying me. But inside I was like, but am I getting annoyed? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I think it's because I'm such a creature of habit that I'm like, damn, I want to be horizontal.
No, I think I know what you mean because Isla's just gone since September.
Yeah.
Right. And when she came back, school got out for her before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So she's home before Thanksgiving till January. And I started going, I'm 80% ready for her to come back.
Yeah.
And I'm 20% like, hold on here. I haven't had to drive anybody anywhere.
Right. Or think about them.
I haven't had to think. I don't feel guilty for being at work till 6:30.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty for going to work on time.
Right.
I have so much mom guilt.
Oh, girl.
From when she was living here that I was like, I got to step back into that like mindset of really worrying about. And then of course she got really sick and all of that went away because I thought, well, thank God she's here and not at school.
Absolutely.
And thank God that I'm here to help her. And thank God that we can do this together.
Yeah.
But
that's scary for them.
she was so, it was really bad. She had like 103 fever. She was
real
vomiting.
painful.
It's really bad.
Horrible.
So I was really glad she was here once that kind of started.
Yeah.
But before that, I kept going, like Dad and I aren't going to get to watch what we want to watch.
Right.
We're
we can't
in the
say
hot
everything
tub
we want to do.
naked, and now we can't do that anymore.
Exactly.
Not that we're even hooking up. I'm just
It
like,
doesn't even
screw
matter.
a bathing suit. Why? Why would I put a bathing suit on? He sees me naked in the bathroom.
Yeah, I have to because
You do?
let me tell you, I'm so are you kidding me? I walk by the fucking mirror and go like this.
I forgot that you're so modest. I forgot you are so modest.
So modest. Like,
did you used to go in the bathroom at Lowry's and change in the stall?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
I was not changing with all them old bitches. Love y'all, sorry. But I'm just saying.
It's like 20 women changing
Put on freaking pantyhose. Hold on. Like rolling it up to the top of the toe.
Yes.
Trying to wiggle it. And if you got one small enough so it would suck you in. This was before Skims and Spanx.
Yes.
This was legs
This
with 2
was
G's.
support hose.
And you had to, because we wore nursemates.
Yeah.
The ugliest things. We were made to look like the ugliest. And with
but
the
big
bun,
boobs.
big boobs.
But big boobs. Gotta have big boobs.
Well, it's like the Hooters, but elevated. It's like you're done with Hooters.
This is called boobies.
Yeah. and our little cufflinks that we had to pay someone down in downtown LA, and someone would like the fairy dust would come in with these horrific cufflinked. I just have memories in these outfits. Remember the bun? Mm-hmm. We had to do that thing in a bow in the back.
French twist hair.
Do you know who reached out to me? Carrie.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. You know what I just did? I just did this to myself. I did that. And it went think, and I just went, I stopped and went.
Works.
I went, there's the ADD coming out. Hold on. Think,
your reflex works, but
yeah.
I forgot you were so modest. So you were not naked in a hot tub with Doug.
So not kidding. So much so that he makes fun of me because we're in our house by ourselves. And I will turn my body around to change my bra. I've always been this way. I turn and I take my shirt off and he's like this, really? And I go, well, let's be honest. If I turned square to you and went like this, what do you think would happen? Nothing's changed with that. He'd be like this.
Pachoing. Yes.
Is that for me?
Have you seen that Instagram prank that's going on where a woman is cooking naked in the kitchen and her husband comes in and they have no idea, and the husband's like almost always on a phone call or something, and they're like, oh, I gotta call you back, click. It's the funniest thing. I've been watching that lately on Instagram and I go, that is so accurate. It's every age, man, every race, color, religion, sex, age.
Yep.
Everything.
Yes.
And they're all the same. Like,
like they literally are like, boobies? Is that tits?
Boobies?
Do I see a butt? Where's the vagina? I need it. And I don't have that. If he walked by, which he does, if he walks by, I'd be like this, really? You just gotta, like I told you,
last night
in my face all the time.
Wrapping presents last night, and Bert came and just put his hand down the back of my pants.
Oh, I get
like
pants
to feel my butt cheek
down the back.
He's like, just
that's
down
so sweet because I get pants like I'm in 3rd grade, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of the kid. And he's like, I like you. Put an X if you like me too. And I'm like, and I tell Doug, I'm like, don't you pants me? Do not pants me.
God.
And then he goes, all right. And he's a martyr. He's got his mother in him. He goes, all right, I won't touch you. And I'm like, all right, yeah, let's see how long that lasts. But we have this thing, which is, it's fun, it's funny, but I think I'm the one that is a problem always because I'm modest and he knows it. And it drives him nuts. He hates that I'm modest. And I'm like, you picked it. And we're 27 years in. You think you'd be used to it by now. But I'm dressing, the closet door's open, I'm changing, and he likes to try to surprise me.
Oh my God.
When I'm half naked or naked. And I'm like this. I time it. I'm like, okay, he's working on the Rogaine. So I'm like,
right? Here's my window.
I'm like, I literally go like this and look in the bathroom. This is so ridiculous. I'm like, we're so married that I'm like this. He's gonna chase me. So the other day, he caught me when I didn't know it, and it scares me every time, like I don't know it's coming. I go like, I'm trying so fast, change real quick. And he goes, ah, and he got me. And he goes, ah, and jumps on. Pushes me towards the bed. I fall on the bed. I kind of like crack my wrist. And I was like,
God.
And I face plant. I hit something hard on my face. And he's like, you had to brace to fall on a pillow? That's why you hurt yourself because you braced falling. And I went, well, I'm not expecting to get accosted and thrown on the bed. And I go, and what do you really want? What do you want to happen?
Yeah, right?
Paint the picture. Remember the story, the movie?
Yeah.
I said, what do you want to have? Do you think I'm going to be like this? Yeah. Yeah.
Do that again.
Do it again. I can't see your face. You have morning breath. I'm half naked and feel fat and gross. And nope, didn't mind that I planted my face and my wrist has a ganglion cyst in it. It just basically popped. And he was like, that's hot. So it was over. That's all it took was me going, what are you doing? And I don't know how to be, I'm so losery. I don't know how to be like, yeah. I don't.
You're not losery. You're just modest. You've always been that way.
Always.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I wish I wasn't. But there's a lot that I
Well,
am.
isn't there a lot of things all of us wish there weren't? I wish I didn't have a big ass. I work on it all the time. There's nothing I can do about it.
What's something else you wish you weren't? Make you feel better.
Wife of the Party is sponsored by DraftKings. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Holidays on the house at DraftKings Casino. With this season's offerings, you'll unwrap everything you wish for, from table games and jackpots to a slot at the top of everyone's list. Jingle bells, power reels. So, our office has a football league of sorts that we are all participating in. And you know what makes it even more fun? DraftKings, because not only can we talk about it at the office over the water cooler, we can also talk about what we're doing on DraftKings at the same time. It makes it so much more interesting and so much more fun. DraftKings is offering a warm welcome to new players with $100 instantly in casino credits with just a $10 wager. Plus, everyone can get in on the action with a holiday reward every week. So, sign up with code WOTP because the holiday cheer is here. Only on DraftKings Casino. When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Allbirds or Skims, Sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing, but an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling and for shoppers buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret. With Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in the store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. BertBertBert.com, wifeotp.com. We use Shopify, and Shopify makes tracking your inventory so easy. It's incredibly user-friendly. It makes selling a joy. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Birdie Boy Productions uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/wife, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/wife to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/wife. I wish I weren't,
She goes, there's a ton of things. I wish I weren't. Gosh, I can't think
I'm
of
just
one.
Almost perfect.
You know, that reminds me of when I'm interviewing people, or when I used to. Biggest pet peeve. Learn this from entrepreneurs. Don't ever, when you ask someone, let me know one of your weaknesses. Tell me one of your weaknesses. And the person's like, I'm just so friendly.
That's your weakness?
I fucking hate when people compliment their weakness.
I'll tell you one of mine, and I don't like it, and I don't know how to fix it.
Okay.
And this is going to sound stupid, so let me explain it. But I take too good a care of certain people to the point where they no longer take care of themselves.
Sure.
And so I don't know how to just like pull my hands back and let them fall.
Like cut the strings a little. Yeah.
I don't know how to go like, well, let's see how this works out.
I won't ask you who you're talking about.
Do you have a good guess?
Let me Rolodex that. I think I got it.
I was just told the other day I've got to get out of the way sometimes. That I put myself in harm's way.
Of course.
And
but you're a caretaker though. I mean, not only being a woman, that's part of our DNA. Not all. We know plenty that don't take care of those they should.
Yeah.
But I think it's part of our DNA. It's inside us. Like something for me. I am such a worrywart, and it has begun to, and I grew up with this. My mom would worry about worrying. To worry.
That she's not worrying enough?
I mean, my mom would worry about Christmas on Christmas for next Christmas.
Oh my God.
Because it was like a white picket fence thing. And I think if we go deep into the psychological factors of it, I think it boils to inside, she always felt maybe she wasn't in control as a child and a lot of that. So she wanted to control the environment, but yet she had been married 3 times. We moved around a lot. And I think she couldn't control it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't have a lot of money. So Christmases weren't, I remember the Charlie Brown type of Christmases and her apologizing. And so I wonder for her, it was about how can she corral and control? And if she couldn't, so it's kind of me too, that nature nurture. I have that too, where I am trying to corral and control things.
Mm-hmm.
And life is smacking my ass right in the face. It's like, oh, you're not in control of that. Oh, you want to be in control of that? Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't control that either? Get over it. It is such a challenge. And it exacerbates anxiety and phobia for me.
Well, you've always had a bit of anxiety, huh? You've always been a bit anxious.
Yeah. And I didn't know that I was like that.
Yeah.
Claustrophobia, yeah. But that can now,
that's part of it. That's all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Claustrophobia, OCD, anxiety disorder, panic disorder, all of it's under the same kind of wiring. It just kind of depends how it shows up.
Totally. And I've had panic attacks. I had my first one was a long time ago, and that was claustrophobia. And I was like, oh, shoot. It was when I was in the back seat of my little Mitsubishi Eclipse, and we were picking up Doug's mother for like the first time I ever got to meet her. And Doug was driving the car, and we pick her up at the airport, and she's going to sit in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit in the back seat.
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't do that.
No, you couldn't.
So we had to pull over.
Oh, God.
And I had to get his mother the back seat of the car. God. she was a nightmare and she did not like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I got real embarrassed and I'm like, I have claustrophobia. Then on the tour bus, on tour with NSYNC, I was having, they would say.
In the bunk, you mean?
Oh yeah. They would, you guys have tour buses, they would hear me going,
oh my God.
waking up. Because it was like being buried alive.
Yeah.
You're in a tour. Then you'd pull your little curtain, which to me, I'm like, and scene. That is the death scene and buried alive. It's
Were they
called
coffins?
flooding. It feels like coffin.
No, but
you can't sit upright because you'd hit your head. So I would lay there. I would literally lay there and be like, okay, so that's like 9 inches from my forehead. And be like, I just feel really sorry.
yeah, it's intense in those bunks.
It is. And even on the bus sometimes, they turn the lights out. It's all nice and quiet. I'd be like, I got to get out. It's getting really hot in here. You just panic.
And what did you do?
Well, back then, I mean, I was high as a kite. I was smoking so much pot back then. Sorry, Avery.
You were self-medicating.
I was. Because, I had 4 other women on the bus and I was having to lead the vocals and it was really stressful for me. And I was trying to corral them a lot. Not all of them.
I think from my perspective, you seemed the leader of the band.
I was. We couldn't really say that. I sang every song. I sang every lead on the songs. Tal sang as well. She had a diction issue because she's from Tel Aviv, Israel, and she's Yemenite. So she couldn't say the. TH is not in her vocabulary. So she would say the. So, when we would sing to the producers, all of us, I'd be like, audition all of us. Please have everybody sing. And then every time the producer would be like, yeah, we're going to have Christina do the verse 1, verse 2, and this, and you guys can go home. And I'd be like, because then there'd be problems on the bus. Not because they were being difficult, but I think, there's egos involved.
Of course. And you were in your 20s and it's natural.
We all look different and people would cling to certain girls. And I was the American and I wasn't, there was nothing sassy about me. I was the American.
Well, that's not true. You're very sassy.
Sassy, but not, what's the word? I didn't have like Tal had braids and she was exotic. Gabby was from Mexico and could dance like a sexy salsa. And Andy was cheeky and Kate looked like a little Pokemon. And then there was me. And I'm like, not really a cowgirl because I'm from Orlando, Florida. And that's not really, they're like, that's Southern. I'm like,
not really.
That's like Midland. That's like in the center. So they try to like put me in that and say, well, you're just the apple pie. And I'm like, I'm not from Nashville.
Right.
So we tried to make that my shtick is that I was the all-American, but I was pretty much. I couldn't be anything else when I was like corn dogs and don't mind funnel cakes. And
you look pretty freaking all-American.
Yeah. Let's just say that when I went overseas to visit and it was in the middle of the Iraq war.
Yeah.
I just said Iraq like that. In the Iraq war, I was so nervous that I looked so American that we were going to get like ostracized.
Wow.
I remember that. It was like 98, whenever that was.
It had to be 98.
It was 98.
I didn't move here till 97.
That's right. Yeah, it was 98, 99. And I remember I was like, yeah, I look really American. I can't fake it.
No, you can't. No.
I was like, I'm Canadian.
You can fake Irish.
Yeah, I can. I'll put a little accent on, a little Scottish, a little Welsh. That's what I try to do. Yeah.
Something.
But, it was funny. I watched you and Bert. You were doing your call-in recently, and Bert was talking. And I texted you this because I had some aha moments.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I was listening to Bert talking, and I was like, wow, Bert and I are so much alike.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking.
All of my best friends are Bert.
Yeah.
You
and you're like
Sandy's
Doug.
Bert.
You're like,
and all of my best friends are married to me.
Yeah. Because
Tom is like me.
Yin and
Doug
yang.
is like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like he was saying
this is not
stuff.
the first you're figuring this out.
No, but it was
good.
something where he was vocalizing. I'm trying to remember the exact moments, but it was recent. And he was saying something and I was like, holy shit. Like everything he's saying, I'm like, that's me. I know. The one that had it, and he said it, I could say it wrong, I apologize, but it's something like, he knows that he leaves a big wake. Is that what it was? It was a wake.
He casts a wide wake.
He cast a wide wake.
Yeah.
When he said that, I paused the thing and went, oh my God. Oh my God. That's me. I cast a wide wake. That's what I do.
Yes.
I usually say that I can be in a room and I can do two things. I can either ignite the energy in a room or I can suck the actual life out of people in a room.
Uh-huh.
And that's that's the wake.
Yeah.
And like Doug has said that to me, and I've had a business partner who has said that in a loving manner. I had Kim Ralph say that when we waited tables. I remember when she just went. So when he was telling his story about persons in his life that have made him feel like he can't be as big as he is, the shirt, for me, it's my personality. I have felt that so many times in my life, especially in business partnership, where I felt like I needed to make myself smaller, so that I wasn't coming in the room, kicking in the door, and making everybody feel like that. And I used to take it so, like, it went to a dark place for me. Like, I can't be me. I don't know who to be. Now I'm morphing and molding and mimicking behavior, and because I couldn't be myself. And it was over time when I finally went, oh, okay, I need to know when to dial up, dial back. When is the right audience, when is not. And it took years to understand that. And I still suffer from that a little bit, because when I'm in a room with people I don't know, I don't go inward, I go outward, because that's my nervousness. And so when Bert was just talking about that wake and how people have done that to him, and how it's hard for people like him and I to have people want us to not be us. Just, can you just be less?
Just tone it down.
And inside, because in business world where I'm not a stand-up, so I almost can't allow that personality to be where I want to be all the time and have that gregarious. I used to always have to back it up. Be careful. Don't say that. Don't curse too much. You got to be careful. Watch the crowd. You're in a hotel. You need to be. And I remember one time I said to Alana, my former business partner, I said, fucking A, dude. Like, part of why we're great is because of my personality.
100%, yeah.
But I had to learn how to morph and mold to the room. And sometimes I don't want to.
I hear you. Sometimes I don't want to either. I mean, I don't cast as wide awake, but I'm not a quiet little shrinking violet either. So, and sometimes you just can't say or do or be your full self out loud.
Right.
As long as you don't shut yourself down on the inside.
Right.
You can shut it down on the outside for a moment.
And control it.
For a moment.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate. You don't necessarily go into a Catholic cathedral like, go, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Exactly. So you can... You're exactly right. It's about reading the room and the moment and not allowing it to affect you internally. I mean, there's this great quote I have in my Bible. I can't remember the whole quote, but it basically says, shrinking yourself does not service the world. If you shrink yourself, you are denying the world your full self. And if you present with your full self, you inspire other people to do the same. If you shrink yourself, then that's what you're inspiring other people to do. And you would never want to do that. And I would never want Bert to do that.
Right.
Ever. And sometimes, I've never really been jealous of his wake. I've never been like, well, what about me?
Yeah, Doug's never been like that either.
I need to be in front.
No.
Every once in a while, I just want a little credit.
That's the catch.
But that's it. I don't need to be like, she's
guess what? You're a perfect partner.
And
Bert, I've noticed he's good from what I've seen, at least at this level of his career where it's gone. Because, we all knew each other when it was just in that.
We were eating spaghetti.
Shit.
On the reg.
That's right. And sometimes it wasn't, we may have been mixing some Prego in there back in the day.
You know it.
But okay, pause that. I will tell you briefly that we recently were invited for the first time in 18 years living in Asheville. We have new neighbors next door to us. We had bought that house. We renovated it. They bought it from us. She's about 40 something. They've got 3 boys and she's really lovely. Her name is Jay and she has she's an artist. And so her and I have connected. And so she was like, hey, do you and Doug want to come over and just have a cocktail with us? And I said to Doug, I was like, oh my God, we got our first invite. Wow. We got an invite from a couple. Not business related. They're not my employees that I pay because that's usually what's happening with me. I pay people to hang with me because they're my employees. So anyways, we went over there and I tell Doug, I'm like, all right, here's the deal. We got to stay at least like an hour and a half. Okay. Because, we don't know how, and he was like, okay. All right. Because we don't know. We're literally 8:30. We're like in bed. So it's like, okay, we go over there, make a cocktail, small talk. Everything's great. We're sitting there. Their kids are coming in and out. Yeah, cool. And then we're talking. We've been there an hour. Okay. It was at 7:00. It's 8:00 now. You fucking know exactly what I'm going to say right now.
Oh my God.
I'm crying.
Dougie Fresh.
He goes, we are in a 4-seating where each one of us are in a chair and I'm talking, telling a story or something. And I'm on.
Yep.
And he goes, we're sitting there and he's listening. He goes, there's a pause. I was paused. We were talking something. Ha 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 ha. He goes, all right, well, we're gonna go now. And I go like this. And I went, no, we're not. In front of them. Okay?
Yes.
These are our new friends.
Dumb.
He goes, no, we need to go. And I went like this. No, we're not. I'm like, I will somehow string you up. They finally invited us. We bitch all the time. We have no friends. And he was just like, I go, 8:30, and he's looking at me and I'm not picking up what he's putting down on purpose. Because I'm like, no. And I say, you can leave. I mean, and he's just like, I might. And I was like, no, okay. And I'm like, anyways, moving on. So 8:30. We go to leave. I said, now we'll go. Let's go. So we go to walk out the door. I'm like, bye, you guys. They're like, great, bye. She was cool. I hug her and I go, oh, I'm going to kick his ass. I hugged her and I said, I'm going to kick his ass. And she goes, no, don't. I said, oh, no, his ass. I'm hugging her. While I'm saying it in her ear, I go, I'm going to kill him. If you hear screaming, it's me killing him. We're walking next door to our house. And he goes, I am really pissed at you. I said, that's so funny because I'm really pissed at you.
Oh my God.
And we're walking. It's pitch black. It's like 20 degrees. And I'm walking. I go, seriously? He said, my eyes are on fire because he has dry eye syndrome. He goes, and because he has an enlarged prostate because he's 56 and that's what happens. He's like, I'm having to pee like every 7 minutes. And it's like IBS, but for your urethra.
Oh my God.
And I go, can you let a bitch know?
Yeah, right.
He goes, you weren't even giving anyone a second to breathe. You were talking. You weren't looking at me. I'm like, because you've heard the story. You heard everything I'm telling. So what am I going to look at you for a validation of the story? You're going to just go like this.
You heard the story.
You know this. He's going to be like this. And like acting it out. No. And then he goes, no, but when I say we need to go, I said, well, then you need to learn how to say this. Hey guys, thank you. Here, I go, let me give you cliff notes. Hey, thank you guys for inviting us over. I appreciate it. Listen, heads up. I apologize. I may have to leave earlier than we would want to because I have dry eye syndrome. Don't mention your prostate. No one cares. That's okay. Because he was like, what am I supposed to say? Hey, I got an enlarged prostate. I got to pee. It kind of hurts. I don't want to feel like a weirdo. I'm like, maybe you leave out the enlarged because everyone's going to picture that. And I don't want to see like an accordion in my head of your prostate pumping. Pump it real good. No, I did not. That's not an image that I want to conjure up.
Let me give you a tool. This is what Bert and I came up with, except he blew it.
I thought you meant a tool for the prostate.
No, not that.
So
no,
we're clear.
No, we were at dinner one night, and apparently I had been drinking too much. And I started talking wild.
LeeAnn drunk is the best experience ever. If you haven't seen it, you need to.
Sometimes.
No, it's great.
This time we were at dinner with a couple, and apparently I started talking wild shit.
Oh God!
And then Bert was trying to get me to stop, and I wasn't.
He was trying to get
up
you
what I was putting down.
Stop.
No, he wasn't drunk. I was drunk.
Right.
So I wasn't picking up
stories
all the time. And it's like, so I was going down on LeeAnn.
Then I'm rocking
Pass
her
the
world
potatoes.
with my big penis.
Exactly.
You're like, relax.
Pass the sausage. I mean, so I'm like just talking out of my ass, and then the next day he just goes, that was bad. Like, this is really bad. And I went, well, maybe we need a code word.
That's what we said.
We need a code word.
Yep.
And so I was like, how about I say, hey, blue eyes to you, and you say, hey, brown eyes to me, and then we'll know.
Oh, that's cute.
So that you go, hey, brown eyes, I got to go to the bathroom. And you go, oh, brown eyes. Okay,
that means we need to go. We need to go.
Yeah, something's shifting here. Yeah. Or I need to shut up or something.
Got it.
So we did that. And then the next day he told everybody I know.
No.
The code word.
Well, now you can't have, now there's no code.
No code.
Now you got to go, well, I would have said a code word and it would have been, hey, brown eyes or hey, blue eyes. But now I'm just going to tell you, he's pissed off. See, this is me.
Exactly.
And don't get me drinks. And I'll be like, hey, look at Doug. He's pissed off at me because he wants sleep because his balls are feeling tight. I don't know. His prostate. He's gonna pee really bad. Like that's how I am if I'm high. If I've smoked pot, I'll be like, I feel when I smoke pot like there's a stage and stand-up's happening. Like if I am high, it's like, I mean, I am on fire. Doug's like, so. Yeah, you need to be doing something with that. And I go, yeah, those days are kind of over. He's like, you sure? I'm like,
I don't know. LeeAnn Morgan didn't start till late.
Oh,
you're an empty nester.
Let me tell you something. I don't know, though, with social media, I am in an interesting phase right now. Crazy enough. Yeah.
Tell me. For a gift that's always on time and lasts a lifetime, you can't do better than Masterclass. With Masterclass, your loved ones can learn from the best to become their best. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best. That's why Wirecutter calls it an invaluable gift. Gift unlimited learning. Learn from any Masterclass instructor anywhere. On a smartphone, computer, smart TV, or even in audio mode. Help them use improv to overcome fears with Amy Poehler. Craft a stand-up set with Judd Apatow or turn passion into achievements with cultural icon Martha Stewart. Give your loved ones a year of learning with Masterclass. I love Masterclass because the best place to learn is from people with experience. I think it's much easier to learn that way than from a book, in my opinion. So just logging in and seeing what I'm interested in today, I can hop around from class to class. Maybe today I want to look at a scientist, tomorrow an actor. It's a portal to like a whole new world. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/wife for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/wife. Masterclass.com/wife.
So, my companies were bought in 2022. I work for the company that bought us. They let go Alana 6 months ago. And so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I'm one of the only owners left. And there are opportunity to sell the company that they bought. They bought 5 companies all at once. And it's different. It's a big corporation. So I'm not used to, and I have a C-level title. I'm in the C-suite, and that's nice. But I'm used to be an entrepreneur, and they know that about me. So it's just, I feel like, and I'm the chief experience officer, but I feel I'm going through. The past 4 years have been transitional. I know that because of COVID, owning businesses, selling the companies.
Empty nest,
having some failures in those companies and feeling the financial of that and the emotional quotient of all of that. Everything has just been huge, and I worry. So what's happened is, and then my worry can become panic, and then the anxiety kicks in. And I'm in an interesting part now of like a third reiteration of myself. Like, so my first invention of myself, right, was I'm going to move to Hollywood and I'm going to be a star. What star? I thought I was going to be an actress. Then I did literally less than a hot second of stand-up twice on a stage, right? And I went, oh, I tried stand-up. No, you didn't. So, and then I was a waitress for a long time, as we know together. And then I was like, okay, I became a singer, and I got
a singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
A singer-songwriter.
And professional. And got the $1 million record deal. We didn't get $1 million. The producers did. But, and I'm like, okay, you made it. And then when that ended, it was like, okay, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to own businesses. Did that. Felt success in that. Felt failures in that. Lived that. And now I'm in this next iteration at 51. And I'm like, I feel like I'm a waitress again. Nothing's wrong with being a waitress. Loved it. Got me wherever I needed to go.
Oh, totally.
But there is a visceral feeling.
Maybe you feel like you're back at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're at the beginning of something.
What am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? And really going through the differences is that I'm not 20 anymore or 25 with the energy and excitement of the newness because I'm jaded from knowing what I know
from experience
from around the corner. Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're jaded. I would use a different adjective. I would say you're experienced.
That's sweet because I say jaded as fuck.
Wisdom. But it's wisdom, but it's wise not to continue to make the same mistakes or not to make choices. That's wisdom. That's to me, there's negative in jaded. There's positive in wisdom or experience.
I like that.
So if you go that way, you say, from my experience, I don't want to repeat these things.
Right.
It's very different than I had this I'm jaded and don't want to
because of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of where, that's the interesting part, because that's where I've been sitting. And I'm not a negative person.
No.
By nature. Like if anyone was describing me, they'd be like, okay, she's loud, she's gregarious, she's funny, she's, this or that. But never like, oh, she's kind of Debbie Downer.
What a downer. Never. No.
Okay. I have been over the past 9 months. I've definitely gone into a realm, and it's situational, right? It's life stuff.
Temporary.
It's hopefully
transitional moment.
Transitional moment.
Yeah.
It's work stuff. It's the stuff.
It's a natural disaster in your hometown.
Yep. And dealing with staff there, and that's what's happened too. Is that you see kind of, it sucks because you start to see some core in people, and the jaded part comes from, or the thought of jaded comes from the feeling of, nobody gives a fuck about me. Like I can pour in and pour on. And I said to Doug, I said, hey, I have to have a vulnerable moment with you. And of course he's like, oh,
here we go.
Hey, is this going to be a long one?
I have dry eyes and an enlarged prostate.
I got 45 minutes for you.
7 minutes to the next trip to the bathroom. Go.
That is at limit. Before he starts to go, God, eyes are burning. I'm like, because we're talking about something serious about me? Great. Right. They start burning funny. Not when he's talking about him, but only with me. But I told him, because he even said one time, we're building a house in the back and it's over budget and all this stuff. And I just said to him, I was like, I'm feeling like I'm so negative. And I go, and I'm not that person. I'm a realist with a hint of optimism. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a realist with pessimism.
No.
I go, so what's happening is I'm going, because of worry, because I don't know the next move, because what is going to be the next reinvention of myself? Well, who am I? What defines me? What's my purpose? All those things that just sit and make you ponder and, really trying to figure out, where do you flow that river from? Because inside my head, it just swirls, and then I become insecure. If imposter syndrome creeps in, I'm not really that good. Could I even be an owner? I don't even know if I like owning businesses. I don't know if I want employees. Gosh, they don't care about me. Do I care? All those things, and the conversations spiral you. So the difference is I'm married to someone who doesn't worry at all. And I've said that to me, he goes, well, I worry about stuff. I'm like, what? What do you worry about?
My prostate.
Yeah. And having to leave with your dry eyes. But he doesn't worry. He can go, yeah, that's a beast.
Well, I'm pretty similar to that.
Are you?
Yes.
You can go to sleep and you can compartmentalize.
Yeah.
And
lay
that's
down
where I'm like
night,
Bert,
night.
where it's like,
well, but I think you're in a real powerful yet scary place, right? So I just read this book. It's one of our book club books. I keep referencing it. I hated it when I was reading it. I absolutely hated the book. I freaking don't remember. What was the name of that book?
So what I hear you saying is they're going to love sponsoring you, how much you hated this book.
No, but I keep... What is it?
From strength to strength?
From strength to strength. Thank you for knowing what I was talking about.
That's like Charlie's Angels over there.
I know, right?
I like that.
So from strength to strength is this guy who researched why people are successful and how long that success lasts, at a biological level. And what was really fascinating, which made me really upset, and at the same time, I thought this is good information to have, because if it's almost like having facts about menopause. So if you know that flop sweat is part of menopause, then you don't go what the fuck is happening?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
That's happening right now as we're talking?
Yes,
that I need to put a fucking tissue under my tits right now? It's disgusting.
The worst.
It's disgusting.
It's the worst.
And it smells like BO.
Yeah, it's terrible. Never smelled
Never in my life.
Never.
I am fresh as a daisy.
Yes.
At all times, mind you.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yeah, same.
Right now.
Same.
It's happening.
Bert caught me smelling my bra one day and he goes, what are you doing? I'm like,
BO. How do I have BO?
Never
I'm
in my
putting
life.
deodorant under my boobs.
Yes. So now if you know that's part of menopause.
It's part of strength of strength.
Yeah. But what he did was he said, most people, almost the entire population, have about 20 years of high performing productivity. So if you start at 30, then 50, you're productivity'd out.
Yeah.
And then what should happen if we embrace what's biologically happening in our body is that you should shift from this high achieving into a mentor, consulting, broad-based, and if you are concerned with longevity and health, what you should start doing when you hit that 20-year mark is growing your spirituality, your friend base, your health and wellness, and your ability to give back, because those pieces are proven to make people live longer.
Interesting.
So if you live without friends, you don't live as long as people who have a big friend network.
dead tomorrow. Exactly.
So usually most people who are super high achievers, like you and Bert and me and
you,
Doug,
absolutely.
When you get to the 20-year mark, you go, I have one friend.
Yeah.
I have no hobbies.
Yeah.
I don't go to church or do anything spiritual.
I'm not enjoying what I did enjoy.
Yes. I'm not working out. I'm not eating well. I'm not getting massages or whatever your
having
prescription
panic
is.
attacks. I'm sweating. I'm literally viscerally shaking at night. Not because I'm cold, because my body is having a reaction to the fear or worry that's hitting me at 2 a.m. and I wake up and I literally have a visceral, hey, Doug, I'm having a panic attack right now. And he's like, huh? What? And I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. He's like, what do you need me to do? I'm like, nothing. I just need to tell you that. So if I die, you know what's going on. Meanwhile, I know I'm not dying, but you feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's real.
So then if you know that after you hit that 20-year mark, he said it's almost to the dime, 20 years. It's not
Well, that
21.
would make absolute sense. Like that is exactly where.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's uncanny. When he laid out the actual statistics of it, I was like, this is bizarre.
It is. When you see that it's not just you.
It's biological. It's an actual, it's almost like your car has 25 gallons of gas and it is empty at 25 gallons.
Right.
That's kind of the theory of what he researched and discovered. Yeah. And so when you apply that to where we are now, we've been working at a certain career for X amount of years, then right about now is about the time it just happens to, for us, coincide with menopause and empty nest.
Yep. And that's where I'm getting confused.
Yes.
How much of this worry, because I've always been a worry wart, but it's eclipsing the positives of me, the happier, funnier, loose, the self-deprecating, all. It's causing me to have internal, in the car driving, talking, I don't know, something like this. I really don't fucking want to go. What you think they give a shit? That's the kind of language that's going on, which is not me.
No, that's not.
And I go
you.
like this. Who was that? We were Doug and I on the phone because I had an hour and a half drive yesterday because I love LA traffic. It's one of the reasons I moved. So I'm in this traffic jam. And we're on the phone and we're talking about being over budget and this. And I just go to, I'm saying a lot of negative stuff about the construction process because I've been there, done that with him many times. And I'm like, this will not go over budget, over my dead body. I will murder everyone on this crew. And that's me. I'm the purse string. I kind of get, because he kind of gets a little nutty and he'll start going, no, it's okay. We can have the pond. And I'm like, we're getting rid of the pond. It's like $50,000. We're not doing it. It's going over budget, whatever. Right. But I was being negative and I said to him, I go, well, I'm not meaning to be negative right now. He goes, oh no, you're being super negative. Oh. And I was like, and then I go, and on the phone with him, I'm trying to work it out over the phone with him. And I said, I don't, explain to me, what are some words that I'm using? Because I don't feel like I'm being negative. I feel like I'm stating the obvious.
Right.
But maybe that's negative to you because you're upset that it's over. Like, why am I being negative?
Right.
When I'm just stating like, yeah, it's bullshit. We can't like, and he said, I don't know if it's the words, but it's your intensity. And I was like, it's the intensity. And then I go, so if I said it like this, would that be better? More demure? If I said, yeah, we're not going to go over budget.
Gee, honey, I've been thinking.
Honey, let me just ponder this. Just food for
riddle
thought.
Me this, Batman.
If I talk like that,
yeah,
is that better?
Yeah.
Versus, and it for Doug and his personality, strong female that he married. And there is nothing I can do about that. There ain't none. He chose it. He chose it. You picked this.
He chose it, and he's still there, and he's still jumping on you naked. So whatever.
He is. Mm-hmm. He's still pantsing me, and I'm like, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, and I told him, I said, I really feel bad. Of course, then I start crying, and he's like, I don't want you to feel bad. I'm not saying it to make you feel bad. He doesn't know what to do when I cry. Like we said, he goes, what do you want me to do with my hands? He doesn't know what to do. He's like Talladega Nights. Remember when they did the shake and bake, and then he just starts doing this while he's doing acting like, yeah, mayonnaise, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
That's my husband with me crying. And I'm like, why are you lifting your hands? He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
I don't know where to put them.
Yeah, he's like, should I shove them in some crevice? Like, not my crevices, not right
in my
now.
armpits.
Yeah,
How about I just in my
well,
armpits?
for me, I just need to lift them and do a little wipey poo, and then you'll see a little stick. I wouldn't doubt if you're going to see what dudes get when they work out at the gym and they get this ring.
I get them too.
I hate it.
It sucks.
Anyway, so yeah, that negative stuff. So I'm working on that and working through that. And I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna get in therapy again, because I was in it 4 years ago. And I said, I think it's time. And he goes, I think that's a good idea. And he's not a guy that's all like gung-ho for therapy. But I told him, I was like, it's just, he goes, you're in a real interesting crossroads right now. You know, the company that you're with could very likely be selling. They could let you go at any minute. They could. It's in their hands. It's not in my control. No matter what, no matter how much they like me, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to dollars and cents at the end of the day. And so what's my purpose? What's my value? If I don't feel valued, or if I don't feel like I'm contributing to something, I'm creative, I got all this stuff, and I'm not being utilized in a lot of my skills. So what happens is I start going, well, what am I worth? Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? And so I had been 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I had written something in my journal about a podcast. And so I wrote, kind of just, it was like a 2 a.m, what I used to do when I would songwrite. I had a little thing, recorder by my bed, and I'd wake up 2 a.m and be like, oh, oh yeah, that's a song. Great. And I'd go back to sleep because I'd forget them.
Yeah.
And every time I made the mistake of going, remember this melody, remember. And I'd wake and be like, what was the melody? Shit. So I bought that recorder. Great thing. It helped me write many songs. So it was really exciting. So what I did is I wrote 5 years ago, I had a journal I wrote real quick, 2 a.m, like this whole like spiel. Never looked at it again.
Mm-hmm.
But recently I pulled it back out and said, okay, I can't really do a podcast how I'd want to do one.
Why?
Where, well, I can't do one yet until I'm not tethered to a company, because I want to be able to be me and say whatever I want.
Yeah, yeah.
In this, you know what I mean? Because
I do.
no one's putting anything on I don't want to ever get fired because I said something that could be
totally.
off color.
No,
right?
I hear you. Yeah.
You get it. So
I get
and
it.
you know what? You've got to be careful these days.
You do.
Hopefully we're getting a little more away from cancel culture, but it will always be there, I think, to a degree with social media. There's nothing you do about it. I have a friend of mine who's he's a mentor and a speaker and consultant. He has his doctorate in behavioral economics.
Ooh,
and so
shoot me dead. Economics, anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I love is the behavioral part, right? So he wrote a book 10 years ago that was a bestseller. It's called The Perfect Plan. And it's about how to take your company to the next level and 10x it, right? Level up. Great guy, educated, older. He's like, I think he's 60, maybe he's turning 60 or just did. And really great guy. And he spoke at a CEO group that I was in. And I was like, oh, this guy's really good. And he's worked with Home Depot to come in and like the psychological thing of how people shop and stuff like that for them as a consultant and leadership training. So he wrote a book recently when he got his doctorate it's called Here Come the Girls. His name is Dr. Don Barden. And it is about, he's statistically been able to prove through interviewing thousands of female leaders and other leaders in companies. And this is from a small bakery to a Fortune 5 company.
Right.
Here Come the Girls, the idea behind it is that from 2028, I believe, to 2032 will be a huge shift in female leadership in entrepreneurs, businesses, roles, leadership companies, CEOs, because they're seeing this large swing, this pendulum kind of swing towards female leaders. And what he found was the reason why a lot of these women are catapulting to these roles is because he said they boiled it down to like 3 things. I'm probably butchering all of this, but there's 3 things that all of these women leaders had in common. And it was that their leadership style, mostly almost like a DNA kind of thing. When anyone came to them with a problem, they would immediately make the person feel heard, no matter what, versus their counterparts would try to solve it.
Right.
Which is very male-female. We know that, right?
Totally, yeah.
The other thing is they made him feel heard and they made him feel understood. Like, so it would be like, I hear you. That sounds like a challenge. That sounds like something that would really be difficult to be handling on your own right now. And the third thing is they let the person solve it. And that makes them feel appreciated and valued.
Yeah.
So it's the ability to be heard, understood, and valued and appreciated. Those three things are like the trifecta that catapult women into this leadership role of just being able to absorb a lot of information coming at them and emotionally connect to that person. So that, like, the big hot thing on LinkedIn was that chief empathy officer. The new CEO is a chief empathy officer. And that I have plenty of. I'm empathetic almost, I think, sometimes to a flaw. Because I absorb that. And it is difficult for me. Like, I will cry if someone's crying. Like, I'll throw up if someone's throwing up, but I'll cry. I will cry if someone's crying.
I call it chief emotional officer.
Yeah.
Because you have to emotionally support everybody when they come to you with a problem. Some of the problems may be minor in your scope because you have a view of everything, but major to them. And so you have to validate that that's a major problem. And let's see how we can figure that out, you know?
And that's the issue with me and the hard part is I have a little bit of try to solve it. I try to step in because I don't want someone to feel the burden of something by themselves. Almost like when I owned a lot of spas, I would be there getting the toilet paper, scrubbing the toilet, letting them see me getting gritty because I need to make sure they know I'm not above them. I'll stay, I'll get here first and I'll leave it as the last person. And because I never wanted anyone to think that I was going to be that owner that came in, kissed the babies, did this, and then you guys, the peasants, can pick up the mess.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't like it. Although I did get, I have had moments in my life where, after like 15 years in it, when you're helping do the dishes at the Christmas party, you're like, why the fuck? Why am I still doing these dishes?
Yeah, right.
Can someone else? Can I show up, bring all the gifts, and leave? Like, have I arrived at that yet? Alana and I one time said to each other. One time we looked at each other like, everybody's left. We're taking out the trash.
Yeah,
We're
right.
Like, when do we get to not take out the trash? And eventually we were able to not take out the trash. But there was something about that's just, it wasn't even spoken. We just did it. So you have a naked man in your house, I hear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
Would you like a really funny story?
Please give me a funny story.
So empty nesting has been really fun.
Okay.
And we're here
we
you
just said it. We fucking do it.
I did it. I was about to
talk about naked man.
Sweet. Well, yeah.
Okay, so you guys just did a recent call-in where you were very vulnerable talking about, you made a comment and I paused it. I'm driving in Saratoga Springs opening a spa or some bullshit. And I paused it because it resonated with me so much. And I realized how much you and I are alike. And it made total sense because she's like Doug in so many ways. She's funnier than Doug.
I'll stay longer at a party.
She'll stay longer at a party. We just had this where Doug exited the building. And I was like, fucking me.
I kind of wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Me
I have
too.
such FOMO. I'm like,
me too.
We're going to leave?
No, that's me. We just went through that. And I said to Doug, no, we're not. And he was like, yeah, we are. And I'm like, you can go because I don't want to leave yet because I haven't finished. I haven't rounded out my story with him,
Sweet. What did I say that was vulnerable?
You said that that you cast a large wake when you enter a room. And I went, I've never heard my life story said in such a succinct way. That is my life. And I can't tell you how many people in my life, especially in business, who have craved for me to be smaller.
Oh.
Like painful.
It is. It's something I deal with. I try to deal with because I don't ever want to not be 100% me.
Right.
But I make some people fucking crazy.
I do too.
And especially with large personalities, if I walk into a room and become the large personality, they start getting like in their feelings about it. And
I get jealous people too, which I know you do for sure. And I'm not. I was in the limelight for 5 seconds, like water on a skillet would say, right? That's how famous I was. But literally people, I was telling her about Kim Ralph, who used to wait tables with us. I remember one time, just when I was a waitress, I came in the room and was talking and everyone was in there and it's like 40 of us or whatever. And I was being loud and gregarious. And Kim Ralph came up to me in front of people. That's always the worst too. It's one thing when I can trust somebody. If she ever came up to me privately and said, hey, listen, I can sense you may be nervous or you're kind of pushing outward. You might want to pull it back a little bit. I would listen to that because I trust it and I love her and I respect her and I know she's seeing me for me and she's not saying it to make me small. But most of the people in my life that have ever said something were just annoyed at my personality, or I made them feel or come across smaller. And it was never my intention. And I would relate to people. Someone would tell me a story and I immediately be like, oh my God, same thing happened to me. I blah, 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 blah. And then I've had people look at me and be like this, okay, let's just make it about you. And I'm like, but I'm just relating to you. I want you to know that I understand.
You know what's crazy is and I witnessed this the other day. We were at the YMH Christmas party. And this is what's beautiful about when you find someone who gets you and understands you and loves you for you. And I'm not talking about LeeAnn right now because she does that.
Yeah.
But Tom gets me. Like he understands me and he likes me.
He lets you shine too.
And so like they were doing their awards and they were like, Bert, can you come up and host the awards? It's Tom's company, but Tom sat in the front row and laughed the whole time and was like, yeah, this is perfect for Bert. He needs it. We're in a bar, needs to be loud. Yep. And it was like, I actually thought about that because I made him come up and do a speech. And he was like, I don't want to give a fucking speech, but that's Tom.
Yeah.
And then he gave a speech. It was hilarious, hysterical, but it's funny because I've had people ask Tom, why are you friends with him? And
that's such a slight too.
One guy said it one time. I've actually talked to this guy and he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it that way. And I said, no, I understand why you'd ask that because I am a lot. Sure. I'm a lot.
So am I. Yeah.
Yeah. I love walking in a room. I love the energy of entering a party, entering a room, walking into a bar, walking into a Buffalo Wild Wings. And it's gotten worse the more famous I've gotten because I like walking through the airport. I love if you're gonna recognize me, I will match your fucking energy.
Well, you know what's great? I think people who are married to people who are a lot and struggle with that, I think a slight shift in perspective would be helpful because my perspective is I'm a lot and I don't have to do anything because I'm with the person who is a lot.
Yeah.
So then if that person who is a lot isn't like robbing banks or being a lot that way, if they're just being a lot because they are who they are, then I get to be a lot with no effort.
That's Doug. Doug doesn't have to say
he can't do anything, but he's with the best person in the room. Yeah. I'm with the best person in the room.
Yeah. So then I get mad sometimes if I'm entertaining and just and then people are laughing and it's great. I am on fire. That's me at my best. That is when I am like, just get the camera out because I'm on and I love it. I feed off it. Now, I may crash later. I'm going to crash after that high because I get high from it. It's a dopamine. I don't need I don't need nothing. I just get off on that. But I crash and my husband literally could say a word like, hey. And that's all he needs to say. And he's fine. But he cannot engage in that without crashing way earlier than me. He has a problem with that. Like he can't do it. Neither can Avery. I literally have the two of them are identical. And then there's me. And I'm like the sore thumb sometimes in the room. And when you said that about the wake, I used to say in my company, I would say my footprint was really large because I'd walk in the room and it was either going to be people love me or they hate me.
Yeah.
It's a very polarizing. And I'd say I'm polarizing. And I told LeeAnn, I said, I can do two things. I can either ignite a room and fire people up and ignite passion and get people like going, fuck yeah, pumped up. Or I can suck the wind right out of a room by my energy. Because if I'm off, I can't be off. God forbid you're quiet. Don't you love that one?
When I'm quiet,
the whole world goes,
the world
what's
shifts.
wrong?
And they're like, what's the matter with you?
What's the matter?
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Okay, so you're not on.
That happens when I'm quiet too, and I'm not even the wide wake thrower.
It drives me crazy because I just go,
just having a quiet day.
Yeah, I had to MC something, and there was like 400 employees. I was MCing it because they asked me last minute at the company that I'm with. Was like, hey, can you MC this? We're giving awards out, reading off a script. I've never seen these names. Some of them are really difficult. I'm like, great. And my CEO says, I go, why didn't you prep me for this? And he goes, because I know I can wind you up and send you out. And you'll be fine. I said, I appreciate that. I said, is there a court jester outfit too? Like, do I need to put on a fucking clown costume? Yeah. Am I a hired clown? Like, where does the line go where there's respect for that talent? Because that's a talent to be able to go in a room and light it up with no script.
Yeah, totally.
But there's a downside to it too, because there's no middle ground. I'm either on or I'm off. And so
Sweet. Tell me about this naked story.
Oh, naked man.
Naked man. We were just talking about naked man. Is that what you heard us talking about?
Yeah, I heard naked man, and I was like, I'm walking up.
And I said, he's going to come in
any minute. I was watching the door, watching the door.
Yeah.
I was going to tell her the story about what happened the other night with Isla.
Oh. Did she walk in on y'all?
No.
What are you talking about?
The story, what she discovered in our...
A dildo?
No.
Oh, no. She was in bed with LeeAnn one night, and she was like, hey, what's this stuff? And it was like this Dr. Wu, whatever.
It's called Woo More Play. It's like,
what are we talking about?
It's a lube, but it's made from coconut oil. It smells really good. It smells like almost like candy.
Ooh.
And Bert loves it. It was on the nightstand. She was like, what is this? And I'm like,
I love it for
this is
no. I mean, the other day we were fooling around. She goes, yo, put some of that on my legs. Because her legs were
my legs
dry.
are dry. I was like, my legs are really dry.
And while you're at it, I got a little.
You lotionate.
I put it in my beard. I put it everywhere.
I thought you were going to say something else because this is what you just did. I put it in my
No.
butt.
So
I didn't know what he was
okay.
doing.
So I unleashed a Pandora's box. I opened Pandora's box.
When you took her to the friggin' the porn store? Because
No.
that was fantastic, by the way.
No. That was funny as shit, wasn't it?
Oh my God, the double dick that you showed?
Oh yeah.
Because you know that when
So-
Doug and when Avery left, we were like, it was woo.
Well, that's where we sort of are, right?
Yeah.
They just left
Yeah.
and we're sort of like, yippee!
Doug wishes we were still there. I'm
Right.
just 51 now and I'm tired.
I'm 54. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but you're much better than me on this
So,
stuff.
Bert wakes up one morning.
Hang on. I'm gonna let me share to tell the story perfectly. Okay.
It's a
So
very
I
funny
unleashed
story.
Pandora's box.
It is
Okay.
so funny.
I discovered AI,
Oh, AI is the best. What'd you do?
and I've been photoshopping
Her
LeeAnn.
face on. I saw that you guys were doing
I mean,
that.
they are so sexy.
They are.
So one night I have
And go.
no, that's
Or
my favorite.
AI LeeAnn.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So
Although that one looks like a
So that-
crazy face.
that bleeds into me having a crazy dream about me trying to get into a club and LeeAnn showing up in a latex nurse's outfit saying, I need to give you an inspection first. This is the weirdest thing. So I wake up like fucking on fire. So I go, okay, I'm getting
Where's the coconut oil? Where's
I'm
Mr.
getting
Wu?
a latex nurse's outfit now.
Oh my gosh.
Now listen, I'm going to let everyone know latex is very difficult to purchase. You can't get it on Amazon.
It's difficult to
cheap
put
shit.
on.
Yeah, it's difficult to put on. I'm actually looking forward to that. But
She isn't. Don't be claustrophobic with it.
so I order
Not that
these.
I know.
I order a bunch of different sizes of a bunch of different costumes, and
Nurse's outfit.
Merry Christmas
Now,
for
we
me.
have never done, like,
never
there's
done
no
dress up?
role play.
we've never
We don't
done
know-
anything like
We're
You've
that.
meat
done lingerie,
potatoes.
though.
Oh yeah, well, but like a
But
sexy
what kind-
90 or
sorry,
whatever.
But like what? I'm sorry.
No,
real quick.
not
Nothing
like
crazy, like
no.
crotchless or any. Like,
Well, recently.
that's
Let's
the
say
fun
empty
stuff.
nest.
That's the fun
But
stuff.
pre-empty nest, we were super meat and
Well,
potatoes.
of course.
Yeah, very
We all
meat
are.
Time, there's people
Yeah,
living in the house.
when you can do it,
It's
if you
too
can do
much.
it, yeah.
Yes. So then, since we've been empty nester, we've
He's
just
got
been having
latex
fun.
nurse outfits.
There's nothing crazy going on, but we are having fun, right?
Great, as you should.
So he bought some nurses' outfits, and he was like, "Would you? I don't know. Like, would you be into like maybe?"
How did he
Putting one
approach
of
you
those
though?
on?
Did he do that? Did he go like, Did he turn like, or
He
was
left
it like,
him
hey,
on
listen,
the bed unopened. Would you be into maybe
Hey,
like
LeeAnn, go check my. Can you check this side of the? I need you to check something really quickly. And she goes, and she's like, "What the fuck is all this shit?" And he's like, "Can you put?"
no, see which is your size. So I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, sure, why not?
She's great.
Yeah.
Right? So
Did
So-
you put it on?
of course, and
Okay,
we had
was
a
it hard
great
to put
time.
it on?
No, it
Oh,
was
it's not latex. It's
it
just
had
it's a
a-
costume.
It's like a
it's like a Halloween costume from trashy lingerie.
Oh, okay.
Like
gotcha.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
super short. There's
Sure.
a zipper in the front. There's it's
Okay.
big cleavage.
Of course.
And
It was.
It's
I would
like
just
the
say. I would just
AI.
say, like
If Benny Hill made a nurse's outfit, it would be that.
Benny
Yes.
Hill. Like
Remember Benny Hill? Yes.
that guy that's running around trying to see women in their long like pantaloonies, and he's like in the corner.
Yes,
that guy got it.
It was that. You got it. It
Cute.
looked like that. So we put
was
it
fun.
on.
It
We
was
had a
fun.
blast.
It was fun.
I took it off. We have a.
She doesn't even get high, does she?
Wait,
No.
no, I don't even
Amazing.
drink or
Sober.
not much.
Damn.
So there's like we have like a bench at the foot of our bed.
Yeah.
So eventually I took it off. I put it on the bench. I put my pajamas on. I went my merry way. I'm an empty nester.
Yeah.
I'm an empty nester.
Oh.
So Isla comes in the kitchen the next day and she goes, "Hey, Mom, can I borrow some socks of yours?" And I was like, "Yeah."
No problem. They're in my second drawer in the bedroom.
So I'm at the sink. Bert's at the stove. And she comes in and she's like, I can't even do it. She's like, Mom, what is that in your room? And I go, what? What are you talking about?
You're like, is there a
I
snake?
completely forgot about it. She goes, the nurse's outfit? And I just dropped.
LeeAnn went like this.
I just
and dropped to the ground.
behind the countertop. I was hiding behind the kitchen counter.
You weren't like Halloween.
No, Bert said it's Halloween. And I'm just shrinking. I go behind the kitchen counter. Bert had just took, and she goes, Mom. And Bert just took a drink of water, turned and spit it
Everywhere.
all over me. He spit taked. And I was like, I don't even know what to tell you. She goes, I can't even look at you guys.
I love that.
I have to go upstairs.
That is
she left for the
amazing.
night. I was like, I'm so sorry.
That is awesome,
That's
though.
so funny. I
But
felt
that's
terrible.
what I mean, I was so worried. Okay, so yeah, Avery doesn't really watch these, so that's good. That's good because she doesn't have attention span to go that long, right?
It's too long.
Yeah.
We're
Too
deep
long
in
for
it.
yeah. But I'll tell you what. I smoke a lot of pot, okay? Because I fucking love it. It is my thing. I don't drink that much. I get migraines. Pot is my jam.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's the best thing
It's
ever
pretty awesome.
happened. And the fact
I grew like I have like a bunch of pot.
I saw, and you know, I'm in North Carolina where you can only Delta 9 and blah, blah. And I'm like, come on, people. I mail it from here to where I am.
Yeah.
And not that I do that at all. I never have.
Never
I'll
have. No,
fake and make
What are we
believe.
talking
Fake and
about?
make
Someone
believe.
told me about it and I haven't done it. But
Hold on, faking. You're saying it wrong.
what?
Fake you make believe?
So we have an Asian friend whose husband was working abroad and
or in a different state where
in a
it's
different
not
state,
legal.
and she's everyone. I guess we can all assume who it is. We all know who it is.
She's Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Chinese, and she goes, "What name?" Before, when she'd mail stuff to him, she just put one of our friends' names and addresses
Oh
on it.
no, like a real address?
Yeah,
real
one of our
address.
neighbors' addresses that
Oh no.
she was kind of a little bit of a drama.
Oh, so she put
And so
in
she put the
there
drama's
something goes
name.
back
Yes,
to this.
yes.
And then
yes.
she goes,
That's awesome.
and then one time she goes, "I can't use her name anymore. What name should I use?" And I go, "Write down Fakey Make Bereave." And she goes, "Who's Fakey Make Bereave?" And I said, "Just write down Fakey Make Bereave." So she wrote Fakey Make Bereave, and she goes, "Who is that?" And I said, "It's how you would say Fakey Make Believe." And she went, "Oh my God."
Racist. Oh, I love
Thank
it.
you, make believe.
And she probably laughed hysterically.
She did.
Yeah, she's-
and
That's a
she
good
mailed
one.
it to Fake You Make Believe after that.
And it's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine is Renee Silverman. That's my, remember, you don't know the story, do you?
No, allegedly it's Renee Silverman. And can't you say allegedly and it negates
Those
everything?
fucking
Oh,
kids.
yes. It allegedly.
These fucking kids came on my podcast. They're called Alex Sucks. And they're like, and then we trashed a hotel room and ruined a rental car allegedly. And I was like, guys, that's not how allegedly works. And they're like, what? And I was like, allegedly is so you don't get sued by other people, not shit you've done.
That's right.
And they were like, oh, I think we've been using it wrong. And they were like, we did an interview yesterday where we just told all the bad stuff we've done and just kept saying allegedly. And I was like, no, guys, that's not how it
You're
works.
not how it
not a
works.
reporter talking about a potential criminal. You're
Yeah.
talking about
Right?
yourself.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, I did and do call myself Renee Silverman because back in LA, I would call up casting agents.
Oh my God.
This is when we were in Beverly
Yeah,
Hills
yeah.
Playhouse. I would call up casting agents and I would act like Renee Silverman. And this is what I would do. And this is exactly what I would say. I swear to God. I go, yeah, listen. This is Renee Silverman. I'm calling about my client. Listen, I got this great actress. Her name is Christina Renee. I trashed the Rumbley because I was so afraid that it was like trashy. Rumbley, let's get ready to rumble. So I go, listen, Christina Renee, I've been representing her for years. She just moved here. And I don't know why. Why was I a New Yorker? I was a Jewish New Yorker, Renee Silverman. And Renee Silverman Productions would be the name of the company at Hayward when I lived on Hayward.
Yes.
And then Formosa Avenue. I would put my resume and my pictures, Christina Renee, and I'd send it. Renee Silverman here. I'm calling to check and see. Did you send the sides? Because she needs to audition for this. And Renee Silverman got her ass. She got me in places.
There's
Did
other-
she?
there's-
She made
there-
it happen.
She
I
did.
just saw, I forget what the actor was. There was one that was, they were like, just so you know, this is how he got his first role. And he was just going fakey make believe about being,
Fakey make
hey, I have a fitting I have to go to
I
Yeah,
know.
you do.
at 4:30.
I know. I gotta go.
We're going
too.
together.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're all going together.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
What did I want? What was I wanted to say something.
We were talking about Naked Man. Coconut oil.
No,
Nurse's outfit.
no.
A big wake. that people need to stop making us try to feel small because they can suck it because we are who we are. Great.
Agreed.
I forgot what it was.
It must not be important.
Well, how do we wrap and tidy this up?
Well,
I'll let you guys wrap and tidy it up.
Okay, so I'll meet you at home. We'll meet you at home.
You guys take your time. You don't have to be there right away. It's going to take a little bit.
I'll be there. I will be shortly behind.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll see you tonight.
I'll be there in a few minutes.
Right.
You got
Yes. She coming over too.
it. Yeah.
We got to talk about it.
We got to talk.
We got to find Renee Silverman and have a conversation.
Well, Renee Silverman, she don't fuck around. Okay. She sends packages to Asheville.
Well, she
Russell
could,
Silverman.
yes.
She's been known to send a few things, little Christmas treats and whatnot.
One or two.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like the running joke. And Avery knows about Renee Silverman. So it's like this joke that we have. But anyway, so I'm in this midlife. I'm in a new era of who am I?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next 20 years look like?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky that I'm healthy, knock on lots of wood, and daughter's doing good in college. The career thing. What's my next invention of myself?
Well,
but I'm doing what I think you said. It was so important. I need to be talking and mentoring and using my voice and consulting. And
you do.
I need to feel that value. I don't see myself sitting in a corporation.
Well, I think our generation, the Gen X generation, is an interesting one in that I think we are such hardworking. And I think a lot of Gen Xers are very entrepreneurial minded, even if they work for a corporation. I think we were left to our own devices so much as a full generation that my experience of people in our age group is that we really think outside the box and are very driven.
Yeah.
Most of us were latchkey kids. Most of us were the first kids that were kids of divorce.
Yep.
There's a lot of like, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. There was a lot of, how do I figure this out going on in our whole generation? So I think this is going to be an interesting thing to watch generationally since we're all hitting literal middle age. I mean, if I live to be 100, I'm more than halfway there.
Totally.
So I'm not interested in retiring.
Yeah.
I'm also not interested in working like a lunatic for the next 30 years.
I will have a heart attack before that. There's no way.
100%.
Yeah, I worry about that for myself.
100%.
Yeah.
I just said to someone the other day, I can't wait for a moment where I say, wow, it's really slow today.
Yeah.
Like today, not even like this week. I mean like today.
The
like
5
I'm looking
minutes.
through this week, today and tomorrow are insanity. The weekend is the first time I'll be able to see my kids. And then it's like the day before Christmas Eve. And then I host like 30 people for Christmas Eve. And then it's Christmas Day. And then it's our anniversary. And then it's New Year's Eve. And Bert's working and I'm going
now
with
it's year
him.
2025 and then planning for everyone on the team and making
then
sure
we do
they
this,
feel it.
and then
And you give your bonuses. And then,
And there's just, I mean, like there's something Bert's manager sent me on Tuesday. I still haven't had time to watch. It's only 20 minutes long.
Right.
And I haven't had time. And I keep going, when is this going to slow down? But I feel like when it does slow down, I'm going to be like, what am I supposed to be doing?
That's where I'm
So
at.
I keep thinking, well, what do I want my day to look like at that point? Part of it is friends. Part of it is traveling with friends. I kind of really miss having, this sounds really crazy, but I miss my chickens.
Yeah.
I miss having like, I kind of want some goats. Like I feel like I'm going back to my roots a little bit where I was like, I could have like 4 goats and a donkey.
You could.
A hen house full of chickens.
Yeah.
A couple dogs in the yard.
Almost because
That
it's like
sounds
tasked.
amazing.
Well, you're such a tasker too.
I'm such a workhorse.
You are.
That I'm not going to.
You get joy out of that too.
I get
That's your
so much
respite.
joy out of moving.
Yeah.
I'm just always in motion. So the thought of having nothing to do is not going to work.
Yeah, me neither. I will never be the girl who, listen, numb and dumb all day. You know me. Like
but that's a momentary stop.
that's momentary.
Yes.
Doug would say it's a little more than momentary these days.
No,
because
but no.
if I have, and then that worries me too, is that if I become complacent
Mm-hmm.
or comfortable in that status quo of like, because I don't know, I'm not being fired up to get up every day. And I mean, I love my job. I love the company I work for.
Of course.
I'm good there, as long as they'll have me kind of thing. But there's also something in that is that I'm so used to being the owner, one of the bosses, leading the charge, having influence is what I've learned, that if I don't have a sphere of influence over people, or if my thumbprint, I say I have a title with no teeth, if I don't have anything that can make change and morph and mold things and create exciting things, I get bored.
Yeah.
And if I'm bored, that's dangerous.
Yes.
Because if I'm bored, I start to worry and I start to think about things that I probably shouldn't be bothering myself thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know how to control that.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
Yeah.
And that's when the negativity, that can, you start having the deprecation, like, what am I worth? And my husband, and I could grow his company. And he's like, I'm scared you would make it too busy. And I'm like, okay, but what am I supposed to do then? What's my next purpose? And that's when he's like, you need to be talking to people. You need to be. And then he said, you should try stand-up. I go, in Asheville? Are you crazy? And I'm like, no, those days are done. I'm like, but it's more about just feeling camaraderie and that you can have someone, like, I love listening to you talk to your guests that call in. That makes my heart fill because I hear people connecting with you and they're truly seeking a conversation, a point of interest and a point of just understanding from somebody else. And you give them sound advice. I love that. I think it's so inspiring. And
thanks.
And you've always wanted to do that and have done it. And I think that's fantastic. And so I think there's an element inside me of just that needing to mentor, coach, consult, not like life coach, but more like business coachy. And I guess it's just a matter of how you turn that dial on and what do you do to do that. And I want to trust who guides me because there's a lot of people out there that can sell you a bunch of goods and a lot of stuff that I don't want the noise. I'd like to learn from people like yourself and those that have done it and are successful in it. Because I don't know what the next adventure is.
You know what you would be good at? I have one of these for my business. I have a think partner.
Yeah, I'm definitely a collaborator. I need if I had a buddy that, like my business partner and I used to talk about this, but we're not business partners really anymore.
Right.
And she lives in Tampa or Indian Rocks. So I can't really be with anyone. And I'm not a loner. I don't do well alone.
Right.
And so I kind of struggle with that. So yeah, a think partner would be amazing. Or someone to bounce things off of and just be like, yeah, what about this?
Well, no, I mean that you would be a think partner for other people.
Oh, I would be.
Yes.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, see, even there, like collaborating where it's like they're asking and then it usually sparks thoughts in me too, where I'm going, oh, wait, well, what do you think about this?
Exactly.
And,
that's what my think partner, when he shows up, I have a think partner for being COO of this business because I have no college degree, much less a business degree.
I thought you were the CEO.
No, I'm
COO. COO? Well, because you are operating all the facets of it.
I'm a creative partner and COO.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I'm like, I think this is what my instinct says, but I often don't have the terminology of a business degree. Like if someone walked up and slapped me, and one of my staff members slapped me, I don't know that that's called besides assault. It's called insubordination. I don't know what that word is.
The technical HR
right?
terms.
And so if I fire somebody, I'd say, well, he slapped me, instead of saying it was insubordination. And they go, oh, got it.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it gives you this is the box that goes in.
That goes in, yes.
Yeah.
This is how a business functions. These are the 4 arms that you need. This is how that functions. And so then I go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see my weaknesses now, and now I can go and apply. So he's affecting change.
Yep.
He's helping me affect positive change without doing any. And he'll say to me, I can give you these tools, but I can't implement any of them for you.
Right.
So I watch you come back, you tell me what's been implemented, what hasn't. We work on that. You go out, you come back.
Oh, that's good.
And he has a business background. So that's something that you could easily do.
Yeah, I did that I used to do that. I did it for a restaurant that Doug was hired to do the design of, and they just hired him to do 2 more, which is great. But I did their branding and I did, because I love branding. I love branding and I love it. There's just AI is really kind of taken over that. So it's almost like, is it really a career anymore? It is.
It is.
If you can see around it, if you can put the human touch element of it and the experience part of that. I love touch points. I get off on that stuff. That's what I love doing that stuff.
Right.
But I don't want to create a brand agency because I do believe that brand agencies are going to get their ass kicked by AI. They already are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just so easy to replicate things and you don't know if it's real, if it's not. But the human element of that you can't, which is the true storytelling.
Sure.
And the true sensitivities around subjects. But I think that for me, a think tank partner, someone,
think partner.
I like that. I like someone, I like being able to give advice. And the great things I feel is that what I can do for businesses, whether it's a restaurant, I don't care if it's a medical facility, it doesn't matter what the business is. It's a matter of, because it's about human people. It's managing people and operations. It's either people, products, and processes, like Marcus Lemonis says. I mean, he's known for owning many businesses. I love him. But he is all about the people, the process, and the product. And if all three of those are great, but you just have some issues with managing people, or the people are wrong, or your process sucks, or maybe the product isn't as great, but your people are great and the process is fabulous, but the product needs some tweaking. He just looks at it through those lenses. I usually will do that with business owners and be able to point out, look at their P&Ls. I can see, it almost like comes to life. I can see, oh, that's overage. That's too much on that. You need to, just little things like that. So yeah, I love that. And I looked at going back to school at one point and getting my master's in organizational psychology.
Ooh,
because
you'd be
it's
good at
the
that
same.
too. Yeah,
I love
it's all
that.
the same. You just say, I need a degree.
Yeah. But then I'm like, do I really need to go back and get 2 years?
No.
Do I need to get a degree to do this?
No, you
With
don't.
my experience? No.
No.
Right. It just gets you more, it gives you more credibility in the room if you want to be paid to be a speaker or write a book. It gives you a little bit more of that, like, well, I have an MBA and, but does it keep you from? I don't know. Those are the things.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of change.
A lot of change.
Yeah.
And change can happen one of two ways, kicking and screaming or arms wide open.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Yeah.
And arms wide open makes everything so much easier.
Yeah.
So
My arms are like that.
they're not wide open.
They're doing a little bit of like, the SNL skit with Kristen Wiig, who was like the baby hands.
They're half winged. They're half winged like that.
That's what I feel like. Because I also, it's controlled by what happens with the company that I work for.
Sure.
If they decide that, okay, well, we're moving on and we're going to exit you. Well, I have a severance package and that's great. But that's when I feel like but I want to be prepared. I'm a thinker, I'm a planner.
Yeah,
and
same.
to not have that prepared scares me.
Yeah, I completely understand. When we were coming up on empty nest, I was like, who are we going to dinner with? Like, who are we going to vacation with? Like, who are we spending our time with? I need to start working on that now. Since you moved, I have to find other options. You moved so long ago.
I know.
Pierce lives 100 miles away. So I have to choose from my pool around here. And it's an interesting thing to have happen. And you go, well, who do I want to spend my time talking to? And we don't have time yet, really.
You don't. Well, you guys are, you've been going and going. I mean, I can't, the trajectory that you guys have been on, and it's been a long run. I mean, you guys, it's not like
it's
overnight.
forever.
It's been a long.
George was 3 days old when this started. So it's 21 years, 20 and a half years.
And even prior to that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he wasn't traveling
as much.
He was at home.
Yeah.
Doing little bits and pieces of TV shows.
Yeah.
But he started doing this particular trajectory 21 years ago. And then Travel Channel kind of took a chunk out of the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that stopped, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, that's when this trajectory started. And it's just like been a freight train.
It is freight train. Because like he had said one time, like he has a hard time saying no. Like he had confided in me last time, your birthday party that morning, he had said that he doesn't know when it will end. So he has a hard time saying, and I totally understand that. Yeah. It's such a feeling of, in the music business, that's how I felt. Like you have to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Write a song for all these artists, even though I'm like, I don't want to write a song for a 14-year-old female that's about sex.
Yeah.
But you better, because you want your song to get cut, don't you?
Yeah.
So, you're always having to do because you don't know when it's going to run out. And entertainment's like that.
Yeah.
One day you're hot, one day you're not. So
you make hay while the sun shines.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what we've always say, make hay while the sun shines.
You do. Are you enjoying being an empty nester?
I am very much.
Yeah, I am too. I think when Avery does come home, she's coming home for Christmas just for 5 days. She got a cat named Pepper, which is really good for her. She's a homebody. So, but it's challenging when she comes home.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand, and you've got both of them home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's great. And then
it's awesome.
You're like, it's so great. I need you to go now.
Yes.
Because I notice with her, she becomes a kid again. Like she becomes where it's like, I'm worrying now. Hey, have you eaten? I need you to eat with me. I'll take you to go eat. And she'll be like, okay. And I'm eating with her only because Doug's like, you guys go.
Yeah.
It just disrupts our world, which is okay. We love her. We love it. But it's an interesting moment because we would take the dog out the back, smoke a little weed. But now we're like, I can't do that with her in here.
Yeah. Same thing happened last night. He was making serious moves on me last night while I was wrapping presents. And then Allie came downstairs and said, Allie came downstairs and said, hey, do you want to watch this show? And Bert's whole body just went brrr.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what do you say to that? Your daughter's home for a month.
Yeah.
You don't say, I'm past. I'm going to go make out with your dad, which I can do the other 11 months of the year.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to go watch a show with her. I stayed up till midnight watching 3 episodes of The Ultimatum, which I do not want to watch.
You don't? Oh, it's
no, I hate that shit. It's so drama.
She so awful.
Loves it. It's horrible. I can't. That is not my Numb and Dumb. That is my you.
So you don't like Love Is Blind?
No.
Do you like Survivor? Ish. It's better. It's not love stuff.
No,
like that,
I'm like, God almighty, the drama. And
totally.
Talking about each other. And I'm talking about each other. It's very her age.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And a lot of people love that.
Or my age.
It's not for me.
Yeah. It's not what you choose to watch.
I'm Numb and Dumb with Dr. Pole, the vet. Yeah. I like the vet shows.
Yeah.
I'm a vet show girl. That's my Numb and Dumb.
Do you watch Caesar Milan too? Like vet?
No, I don't like training dogs.
Nope.
I like, oh my God, the dog just ate a light bulb. What do we do? And then we get, oh, you have a prolapsed uterus on your cow.
You're hilarious.
Let's put it back in and stitch it up.
You like to watch shows that solve the problem. I like to, me and Isla would be like this. Well, bullshit. What are Tammy and her fat sister going to say now? Totally. Are they gonna hook up with that guy? Is he gonna give him an extra donut?
I'm sorry. Did you just say what did Tammy and her fat sister say now?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Isla would. How much you want to bet Isla would know? It's
1,000-pound sisters.
1,000-pound sisters.
I don't know nothing about that. I watched Dr. Pole. I watched the Vet Life. I watched like
all these vet things.
I love that because I freaking love vets and animals. And
you need to get a go.
I like Dr. Pole because he's a large animal vet. So he does
like bulls and like big animals,
cows,
horses,
goats, llamas, sheep,
farm.
And he
when
does
are you buying
cats
a
and
farm?
dogs.
You guys gonna buy a farm?
I missed the farm, and so I watched Dr. Pole so that I go like, oh, that's a prolapsed uterus. Shove that shit back in.
If you get something in Nashville, you could have a nice farm and get a farm hand on there. Dude,
Dr.
all
Pole.
day. I've got 14 koi fish. It's about as far as I go. Okay. I got 14 koi fish, and if it hits 60 degrees, you don't need to feed them. That's what I know. Because I was overfeeding them. One of them died during. I told you I was crying.
You did. Yes.
And the woman drove by and was like, "Oh, my husband's dying," and I'm like, and I'm crying about a fucking koi fish.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It still looks like a bomb went off in Asheville. It's so bad still.
Is it?
Oh, it's so bad. We have our Spot Theology's down 75% in sales because we have no tourists. It's great. It's great.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's awful.
Do you still have your GoFundMe up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know how it goes. It's kind of dead. And the best part is when my staff were like, what happened with the GoFundMe? And I was like, you got it. Everybody got it in their checks.
Yeah, right.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't take a penny. Don't worry. You know, see that kind of stuff. That's when I get jaded.
Yeah.
That is the jade.
Yeah.
That's the jade. Because you go,
yeah.
Did someone call to see if I was okay? And
yeah,
you know,
right.
But that's when that's when having employees and stuff where you have influence over people, they just kind of, if you feel like no one gives a shit about you, you're like, why am I giving a shit about you?
Yeah, totally.
And that's where I don't want to get. Yeah. I don't want to get to where I'm not giving a shit about the people that I care about because I do care about them. It's just sometimes you can get where you go, really? It's very one-sided.
Yeah, totally.
And I talked to Doug about that. I say, I feel like, and I told him, I was like, I'm going to say this. It's going to sound like I'm talking about you and Avery, but I'm really talking holistically. I go, I feel like I pour in and I don't get poured into. I said, and that is creating me to start to bubble myself a little bit. And I'm not that girl. So I'm recognizing that I'm doing that and getting mad at myself for doing that, but then going, why am I doing that? I'm trying to protect myself. Why? Because I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling like this. Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And it's all good. It's just a matter of, I have to put it in the positive spin in my brain. And I need to get, when I get active in something is when the negative stuff squashes.
I hear you.
It's because I'm not able to be active in anything just yet because I'm in a company and I have to, I'm a one girlfriend girl. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I don't date multiple guys.
Yeah.
I didn't ever because of a reason. I am a solo focus.
Yeah, totally.
You splinter me off, you're going to get a splintered me.
Yes, totally.
Not good.
Doesn't
Because
work
that
for you.
ADD would be off the charts at that point. So
well, let's wrap up so we can
wrap
go
it up
and meet Bert. Yeah, go meet Bert. I love you.
Bert. I love you.
I miss you.
I miss you. You know I miss you because
I know.
I'll text
I
Nan
miss
and be
you
like,
too.
hey. how's it going?
No, you do not. You never text me in that tone.
Because I never want you to be like, are you okay?
That's never how you
once in a
text me.
while,
That's
I
never
want
how
to.
you text me. Well,
I may be
you
thinking
don't.
that way.
You may be thinking that way, but you don't. I'm always like, oh, she texted me.
Okay, good.
Damn it. Why didn't I text her first? That's what I always say.
Oh, no.
I live so
I have
in
a
the
little
moment.
more time than I used to because I don't have 25
You're
spa
not
locations.
world domination.
Yeah.
You're only like single world
domination.
Yes.
Trying
Well,
to be.
Thanks for coming and talking to me.
Oh my God. You know I love this stuff.
And I'm looking forward to, we have our holiday party tonight. I'm looking forward to going in.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I fly home tomorrow. So this is great. When I do this and I leave the next day, it's always like, this is like the hurrah for me that I needed to make the trip extra positive. Because I had my Christmas party for the staff. But this is, I get excited for that. But this is what I need this to fill my soul.
Well, thank you for making time for it. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Until next time.
Yeah.